love. So I want to talk about the mirror modifier, and more specifically, one of the common errors that can happen by using it, and that is or has to do with weights, and more specifically, not renaming our vertex groups after we do the mirrors. So I've got this really cool outfit by Kiwi Forma. They do a lot of outfits for more petite bodies. So if you like that kind of thing as I do, then I highly recommend you check out their work. I will put a link to their Gumroad in the description. But as you can see, this is a bit skimpy on top, and I want to add a little more armor to it. So what I want to do is I want to mirror this bracer over to this side, and I want to mirror this pauldron over to this side. And so if I simply do the mirror modifier, I can show you an example of what can go wrong. And here it is. We have a bracer floating out and kind of stretched. And then we have this pauldron over here that's also kind of stretched, and they just kind of do their own thing. And that's not good. So we want to fix that. And as I mentioned, the primary way to do that is by renaming our vertex groups appropriately. So let's go ahead and hop into Blender. So if I pull this up, you can see I've got this all set up. The first thing that you want to do is you want to take your mesh, and of course we will mirror it. So we will go mirror and apply. And excuse me, I forgot my screencast keys so that you can see what I'm pressing. Okay. So we have that mirrored. Now we'll go ahead and mirror the pauldron. So there we go. And if I apply this, now those are set. The next thing we want to do, the next thing we want to do is separate these into their own meshes. So I'm going to select this one, go into tab. I like to be in X-ray mode for this. You can either do that by clicking these sort of double square icon, or you can press the keybind Alt-Z, and that will take you into it as well. And then I personally like to use the circle select, but box select works just as well. It's personal preference. I use circle select for most of my projects, so I'm just kind of used to using it everywhere, but do whatever works for you. Okay, so we've got that mirrored one selected, and we're going to press P and say separate by selection, and now we've got a new mesh. So we'll get out of edit mode, and if I go look at this new mesh, you can see, well, actually, let's look at the original one. You can see we have all these vertex groups, and they end in the letter L because this pauldron is originally on the left arm. But if we go and look at our mirrored one, you can see that the vertex groups are all still named L, even though this is now on the right side. So what we need to do is we need to go in here and we need to change the L to an R, just like that, for each of these vertex groups. Now I'm going to save you some tedium and not make you watch me do this for all the vertex groups here and all the vertex groups on the pauldron. But there's one thing I want to mention real quick about the pauldron. You'll see we have 2 vertex groups here that don't end in L or R. You can leave those alone. That just means they're sort of symmetric bones, or they're in the middle of the body. They're not tied to a specific side, so you don't have to rename those. But the ones that end in R, you would. Okay, so as I said, I'm not going to make you watch me do all that manually. I have one ready to go here. So we will go to this. And if you now look at the vertex groups here, they have all been renamed R, and these ones have been renamed L. So that's really all you need to do, is you just need to flip essentially the name. You need to flip L to R and R to L once you're done mirroring. So let's go ahead and go back to the game. Now I am going to open up Penumbra, where I have this mod preloaded called Fix, and we'll redraw. And now you see I have an extra bracer over here and another pauldron over there, and they move perfectly. There's no wonkiness, there's no stretching, there's no nothing. So that's really all you have to do. Just rename your vertex groups and you'll be fine. So I hope that this video was helpful and you can have a little bit more fun playing with your outfits. And that's going to do it for now. Goodbye.